Hello, hello, my darling girl. I got an accent there. Yo, yo, it's Daddy here. And I'm gonna read you this book. Can you see it? It's Tinkerbell. It's a little fairy. Tinkerbell and the Great Fairy Rescue. As you can see from the cover, I'm not sure if the camera does it justice. It's kind of a cool little picture. Alright, let's begin. Tinkerbell and the Great Fairy Rescue. Now it's a second-hand book, so it's got a few little squiggle-squaggles on it. Tinkerbell and her fairy friends from Pixie Hollow were on their way to bring summer to the mainland. Summer needed the fairies' constant attention. Summer. Just another fairy. Sorry, there's a burp in here. Okay. Summer needed the fairies' constant attention, which meant that Tink was going to be on the mainland for months ahead, instead of days. She was very excited. Tink and her friend Terence, a dust keeper fairy, landed in a clearing. Tinkerbell looked around the peaceful meadow. Where is everyone? Hey, Tink, said Terence. Fairy camp is in here. He walked over to a huge oak tree and pulled back a thick tangle of leaves. Wow, cried Tink. Hidden beneath the tree, an entire fairy community bustled with activity. So inside this tree, there are all these little guys. Wow. I'll bring the picture in a bit closer each time. Just then a loud crack went through the fairy camp. Fawn knocked over some paint that fairies were using to decorate butterfly wings, and the splattered butterfly took off. There it is, a little splattered butterfly. The loud noise made Tinkerbell very curious. The other fairies hid, but Tinkerbell just had to see what had made the noise. Vidya chased after her, trying to get her to come back. Tink ignored her and flew down to examine the car after the humans had gone into their house. This is amazing, Tink said. Those wheels back there move because this chain thing rotates. So she's found a car. Boom, 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 boom. Just checking it out. Very curious fairy, this one. This chain thing rotates. Tinkerbell darted inside the engine. She found an interesting looking lever and turned it over and over. Outside the car, each turn of the lever showered Vidya with water. Splash, splash. So that's the fairy called Vidya. It's getting splashed with water. Haha. Tink flew back out and looked Vidya up and down. You're all wet, she remarked. I wonder why. Just then the door to the house opened, and out walked Lizzie and her father, Dr. Griffiths. I have a feeling this... What? I don't know who all these people are either. It's okay. Tink and Vidya froze, but they didn't need to worry. The human's attention was focused on a butterfly. The wings have two entirely different patterns, Dr. Griffiths observed. Well, I guess that's just the way the fairies decided to paint it, Lizzie said. Fairies do not paint butterfly wings, because as you know, fairies are not real, her father declared. So that's the humans going, oh, what is with this fairy that's all splattered? If Vidya hadn't stopped her, Tinkerbell would have flown out and proven that fairies existed right then and there. She's a very curious fairy. Meanwhile, Lizzie was playing with a small house she had built. Would you like to help me with it? She asked her father. I'm sorry, dear, but Dr. Griffith said, I have to present my exhibit to the museum tomorrow. Now run along. Tink and Vidya were exploring. Wow, exclaimed Tink. She landed next to a row of buttons lined up like stepping stones. These will be perfect for the new wagon prototype I've been working on. I'm not carrying this human junk back to camp, began Vidya, but then she spotted something that made her stop in her tracks. It was Lizzie's fairy house. Vidya... Sorry, I'll show you the little picture a little closer. Vidya wanted to leave, but Tinkerbell headed straight for the house. Ooh, Tink went inside of the house, ignoring Video's warnings that humans could be dangerous. Frustrated, Video whipped up a gust of wind that slammed the door shut. Tink didn't mind. She was having fun exploring the tiny house's gadgets. Suddenly, Video saw a human approaching in the distance. She pulled on the door to let Tink out, but it was jammed shut. Oops, she just shut Tinkerbell inside. Lizzie went to pick up her fairy house and was amazed to see a tiny fairy inside. So that's the human. It's called Lizzie. Finally, she had proof that fairies were real. She started running back to her home, while Tinkerbell bounced around inside of the fairy house. The little girl went upstairs to her room and peeked in the fairy house, but Tinkerbell was nowhere to be seen. "Where have you gone?" wondered Lizzie. She took the roof off the house and zip! Tink darted out. Mr. Twitches, the family cat, immediately lunged for the fairy. As a horrified Video watched at the window, Lizzie put Tinkerbell in a birdcage for safekeeping. Ooh, she's captured little Tinkerbell into a birdcage. Video knew she had to free Tinkerbell, but she couldn't do it alone. She flew back to the fairy camp to get help. She explained to her friends what had happened, but a storm had just erupted. A storm, oh my. Lots of rain. "We can't fly in the rain," Fawn reminded her, "and the meadow's already flooded." Clank and Bobble, these other fairies, had a plan. They were going to build a boat. Back at the country house, Lizzie let Tinkerbell out of the cage. "You don't have to be scared," said Lizzie. "I'm very nice. Look, I've been drawing fairies all my life." Tinkerbell was amazed by Lizzie's fairy collection, but as Lizzie described what was going on in each picture, Tink realized the little girl had her fairy facts all wrong. Tinkerbell pointed to the window. "You want to go?" asked Lizzie. "I understand." There she's at the window. "I want to go on that. I'm going to get out of here. No, I'm going to get out of here." "You want to go?" asked Lizzie. "I understand." She went to the window and opened it wide. Tink made it as far as the windowsill and stopped. It was pouring outside. "Can't you fly in the rain?" guessed Lizzie. "You can stay with me until it stops. Then you can teach me more about fairies." Back on the fairy boat. Ooh, the rescuers were in a panic. They were headed straight for a waterfall. Thinking quickly, Video hovered in front of the boat and created a burst of wind. The boat started to turn around. Then suddenly, several large raindrops soaked Video's wings, and she had to stop. The boat was swept towards the falls again. "Hang on, we're going straight down," yelled Bobble. At the last second, silver mist made water rise up so that the drop wasn't as steep. The boat crashed on shore, but the fairies were all right. "I guess our sailing days are over," said Bobble. These little guys, let's have a closer look.